Good morning and thank you all for joining us today. My name is Rashmita and I'm the event planner for Microsoft Reactor India. This session will run over the next 3 hours including Q&A. The session is being recorded and will be uploaded to our Reactor YouTube channel. I will share the link to our YouTube channel in the chat section soon. Before we begin, please take a moment to read our code of conduct. We are all here to learn together, so please be respectful of other people's views, understanding of differences, being kind and considerate in the way you engage. The chat section will be open throughout, and we do encourage you all to participate. Also, please keep your mics muted during the session. I would now like to welcome Swamy, our speaker for today's session. He's an aspirant software architect and currently works at Applied Information Sciences. He loves to learn about new technologies, but for now, I will hand over to Swamy to begin the session. Over to you, Swamy.
Thanks, Rashmita. Hey guys, good morning and thanks for joining. So let's start. Let me share my screen and please do let me know. I have shared this one where we already have our 23 previous episodes. And as I was mentioning, the 2023, we have big things how to architect the some small solution. We'll take eShop for small Kirana stores or something, and we'll develop each microservice will have its own repository, its own build, build and release pipeline, Azure Kubernetes service, Terraform. The assumption is that you guys already have some knowledge, and this is somewhere intermediate and above for sure. So assumption is you already know Angular 14 or .NET 7. We'll go on .NET 7, not on .NET 6. The one which got released recently will be on doing that. That's what is going to start, and Rashmita will publish something in Jan. And coming back to today's session, we will be doing module 1, module 2, module 3, these 3 workshops. OK, so it's a live coding, guys. I didn't do anything prepared. So we'll do live coding. So we'll understand how the things are built. OK, so if you're getting bored or you need a small bio break or a tea break, we can take after 1 hour or something. After 1 hour or whatever the time you guys need a break, we can break after every. We are doing 3 workshops. After 1 workshop, you need 10 minutes break to freshen up. We can do that. Or if you guys are OK, we can take in 1.5 hours. OK, this is a purely live coding. So we are going live on this one. So let me minimize this first and open the GitHub repository. And I will open this Visual Studio, and I'm opening the Visual Studio 2022, and we'll go and create a new resource group. OK, this is a new resource group which we are going to create. AZ-RG AZ-204 Lab 1. OK, let's tag it 3rd December 2022. East US will create it. Let's create this one. And I request every one of you to go and watch this video in particular, the 3 hours, 11 minutes video, labs, web apps, function app block. With the same title it will be. But why I'm asking you guys to go and watch this video first is because this 3 hours have explained in depth Like what is the difference between infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, function as a service. So it does a deep dive into that. So we go into the virtual machine, we configure websites, and then we'll see how to deploy the same website in PaaS. So please watch out this 22 episode 22 from this. That's a very much foundational, and I did a deep dive on that. Okay, so that being said, let's get going with our lab today. So what are we going to do is that those three labs. So I'll keep it open. This is the official Microsoft Labs, and I will go and create. I'll go and one. Okay, this is the one. So let me create a folder called source here and we'll get going. Why I'm redoing that is here some of the libraries might be a little bit older and we got the latest libraries for that reason. If not, it is just directly from the Microsoft's official labs. I'm not creating this one. This is the suggested Microsoft labs. You can see that. So we will be doing the same Microsoft labs. The only thing what I will be doing is adding little bit of changes, not much of those changes. So let's close everything and purely focus on that. So that being said, let's come back. I'll stop this and I will close this one. And this is my GitHub repository where I'll do all these things. You can see these are the different organizations I just created for 2023 to focus specifically on one microservice. This is like a movies app, and this is like a shop app, or this is for the sports shop. So year 2023 will be uh, purely on Microsoft technologies with uh, this one architectural series. Narasimha Rao, I posted this at the above, even the first link which I posted, uh, YouTube, it at 10 a.m. Could you please scroll up? You see that video link of that, whatever I was showing, that I posted it at 10 a.m. Just please go grab that. Okay, if you're not finding, please do let me know. I will resend it again. Okay, that's my GitHub. And let's start with the first lab. So this lab is like a web application on Azure platform as a service. Okay, so that's the one. And here is the architecture, which we will see. So basically what is happening is there is some set of images which Microsoft has already given. So that we will upload it manually to a blob storage. And there are two web applications. One is web API, one is the image store. This is the web application. So we do zip deploy to both these places. And we have one plan, both the things are using. And this everything is the Azure resource group. Okay, so that's the resource group. So let's start with this. Just give me one more minute to locate something else. This is here. And let me go and get into this. Okay, C colon GitHub. Not this. It's not this, but I'll look at it. That shouldn't be a big deal. Let's start. So the first thing, we will open up the Edge and we will be creating a storage account. Okay, we'll be creating the storage account. We will select the subscription, the resource group, and the storage account name. So we'll give today's date, image store, East US, and the standard performance, local redundant. So first let's go ahead and create this. Let's follow step by step. So I'm coming back to this one. I'll go home and just click on this and we'll do create. Some of the UI might change a little bit left, right, and center. It's not that, but a small changes. So search for storage account. You'll get it here, or you can search from the categories, or if you have done, you can search it from here, the storage accounts. That means I start it, so it will be available. So different mechanisms. I just wanted to show. You can search it here in this hamburger menu, or here if it is, or create all resources, multiple ways to do it. So we are taking the storage account and clicking on create. And the next thing what we will do is we will select the lab, today's lab, and the storage account name. Let's use this and add our own date. OK, storage account 3rd December 2022. OK, and ST. Oh, Jesus. OK, they are saying that. So let's add image store 3rd December 2022. Cool. And standard and redundancy is local. OK, let's check that. So we have the subscription and we have the resource group. The storage account name we have given. It's East US, performance is standard, and the redundancy is local. And we can leave it everything as it is. OK, directly we can go to review tab. Let's leave everything as it is. And just let's do the validation. Hey guys, please feel free if you need a break after first lap. We can have a quick 5 minutes bio break or wash our face or have a quick chai biscuit and come back. I'm fine with that because I want maximum utilization of your time because you are investing 3 hours of your weekend. So I want you guys to learn as much as possible. So here also there is a lot of knowledge which we can gain where the deployment is happening. We can get the operation details, what is that it is doing, and what is the type it is creating. So Microsoft.storage accounts. So at least you should be able to identify the type of things which it is creating. OK, and let's come to the deployment a little later. Now let's switch back and see what is that next it is creating. So what it says is first task 1 is we open the portal. Task 2 is create a storage account. We just created the storage account. It is spinning up. It might take a little bit. We'll come back to that. OK, I will open a notepad because I need to store some of the keys. I'll do that. The task 3 is upload the sample blob. So that we will be doing for sure. But here, there are a couple of things you need to identify. So when you come here, while you are here, you can see the things it is doing. Click on these operation details and it will give you in how many seconds, what kind of here it created storage accounts, file services. It took 34 seconds. And here in this operation details, you can see that it created blob service. It took 34 seconds. And the third one is in the operation details for this one, you can see storage accounts. That's the main it created in 32 seconds. So that's one piece of information which you can gain it from here. And another important thing is you can download it. So once you download this one, what is that you will be gaining? You will be gaining what is that it is deploying. So a lot of people, they will be scared to work with ARM templates and other things. So you don't need to worry that much because it is very easy. Like if I extract this here, so if I extract here, there'll be some pieces which we need to learn, but rest of the pieces will be very, very easy. Like this one, you create manually and go to this deployment. It is showing you what are the properties, what parameters we have selected. We have selected East US, everything is there. And you see, like we created this, the storage account, we created what all the dependencies, you can use it or you can cut down, but at least to start with, you know that where to start instead of, oh, the ARM templates is pretty much a lot of JSON, many number of lines. I'm very scared. I'll not be able to do that. No, there's nothing. You create it manually and then go back and learn from that. That's what I do it. I get one template from GitHub and then I'll do this one. OK, after that story, let's go to the task 3. Task 3 is we need to upload the sample blobs. Where is this blobs? So in the storage account, data storage section, we need to go to the containers, and inside the containers, we need to create an image. The thing is that it should have blob, anonymous read access to the blob. That means anyone can read this one. OK, so new containers and we need to upload the files. So first let's create the container. Now let's come back to our this one and open this guy in a new tab so that it will be easy for us to switch between left, right, and center. And we need to go to containers, create a new container, and the container name is images, and that should be blob anonymous access. This is like keys of the kingdom. Please ensure that it is blob anonymous read-only access, so that's the blobs will be able to access it. OK, and then we'll select this images, right? And we have to upload. Where do we have these files? OK, so this files is available to us in the main Git repo of Microsoft official labs. And these are the labs. And we'll go to all files, lab 1, all files, lab 1, 0, 1, starter, and images. So we have these images here. So let me reveal in File Explorer. So we have these images. I select the location, go back here and upload and select the file and select all files and override if exists, upload. So that's being done. So let's come and see that. So we select the images container, upload, and then upload. We'll select the folder icon, go to this location. We'll select it. And then we need to create a web app, 2 web apps. One web app is for API and one web app is for application. So you can see this here. We have created the storage account and we have images we uploaded manually. So from this block diagram, architectural diagram, we completed this. Now we'll be creating these two. Let's go back to step 4. Periodically, we'll come and see it is available. So why did we select the anonymous blob accesses? If I put it this one, anyone should be able to access this. I'll put it here. Just see if you guys are able to access this image. You can type yes in the chat. So let's go to the phase 2. So now we need to, task 3 is over. We'll create a task 4. So task 4, the name is image API. We call it as image API. And the resource group subscription publish icon is .NET 6, East region, and the managed plan. OK, it's just a plan. And the SKU is written that we can go ahead and keep that S1 standard, which is 100 Azure compute units. We'll discuss that in a minute. So let's go and create it. Just want to see all these things so that we'll remember. Let's go. And I just want to keep myself here in this place, and so that, it saves us from switching different places. So let's go and create this. We need app service. OK, web app. So we have app service plan and web app. So I'll show you the difference. So this is there, and image API 3rd December 2022. OK, code. And the runtime we can take 7 also. That's it's not a long term. So let's stick to the long term. And you can see that .NET 5 support has gone. So that's the risk using you want to experiment, you can experiment, but the release will be short term. It will not be long term support. So having a long term support, if you see .NET 3.1, even today it is available. But if you have some projects which you have developed in .NET 5, when the .NET 6 has come, that is the long-term support. That will be your duty to immediately upgrade or bump up to the long-term support, because now you don't have .NET 5. East US. Now the race has begun. So previously, if you learn one language or one technology, you will survive in this industry for a decade or decade and a half. Now it's like 6 months to 1 year. Maybe you have learned .NET 5. Done. .NET 5 life is over. Now if you're in a long-term support of any technology, that's max of 3 years or 2 years. So now we all should always be on toes now. OK, learn something new, learn something new. So that's for the API. Jokes apart, let's create a plan. Oh, but seriously, I told it in a jovial fashion, but the things are that way that you always should be in a learning cycle. The moment you stop learning, then gone. When you turn and look, the things have changed a lot. Let's come back to this one. What is this app service plan? So app service plan is a guarantee that X number or X compute units are guaranteed. So if you see here, 1 GB RAM and 60 minutes compute. And here also the Azure compute units, that's there starting from B plan. And it's like facilities also free. They're giving you 60 minutes and 1 GB. Now, if you come to D, the shared plan, if you come to the shared plan, you will get 1 GB, 240 minutes, but you're paying 700 rupees. You're going to get the custom domains and a little bit of memory. But you go B1 plan, you have to pay 4,000 rupees, but you're going to get 100 Azure compute units. What does that mean? Compute unit means, so this is the app service plan. That means they are saying that this is the compute power you're going to get. You can manually scale 3 things, 3 instances, and you have the custom domain and SSL. Let's come to the production workloads. Here, they're guaranteeing if you go with the standard, you need to pay 6,000 rupees per month, or you're getting custom domain, SSL, auto scale. Previously in the B1 plan, it was 3 instances manual scale. Here it is 10 instances auto scale. You got 5 staging slots, daily backup 10 times. You have a traffic manager and this compute units, a 50 GB RAM, sorry, hard disk, and you have got a RAM. So he's saying that A series compute equivalent. It's not that he's going to provision the A series machine and put this application there. The compute power is equivalent to A series. What if you have taken a virtual machine of A series? What is its compute power? The equivalent compute power is guaranteed. OK, that's what these things are guaranteeing. OK, we don't we'll go with the standard as it was there. Uh, I just wanted to quickly show you the difference. What is the app service plan and app service? And we'll go to the deployment. Some of the things which we don't need it, we will disable that. And monitor, we don't need it. Is he asking to do it? I don't know. Select no. OK. Select no. And let's review and create. Let's create it. OK, while this is being created, let's not waste time. So we completed step 4. Task 4 is done. And let's not configure the web app. That time we will use to create the front end. We'll create another web app. This is IMG web. Rest of the things are same. Rest of the things are same. Let's go and create another web app. Now, let's go and create so that we are one step ahead. Now we don't need to discuss all those things because we already did a deep dive on that. What are we doing? So now we can blindly go and create it. We know that what is it, and it selected the same plan because we want both the apps to share. You can see in this architectural diagram, the same app service plan has been shared by two web applications. So that's what we are also doing. Let's go to the deployment. And let's go to the networking. Let's go to the monitoring piece. We will switch this off and review and create. I'll take a quick water break. So that it's creating. So you can see that. Again, you can come back and see the operation details. And don't worry, if you miss it here, you can always come back and you can. This is what the web application which we have created, the previous one. This was the image store. This was the web for web API. You can click on that. You can come and download it, or you can expand this details. So you can see the sites and server forms. So if you expand the operation details and check that it says as server forms, and that means plan. We gave plan for app service plan. That means the computing power dialog, whatever I've shown, the server forms is app service plan. OK, that is app service plan. Microsoft.web/sites is what? This is a web app. So if you go, this is the web app. This is the name which we have given. So again, we'll come and we'll confirm the same. Go to the deployments for this web app, expand the deployment details. And here see this, it didn't create the app service plan because we reused it. So all it created is site, that is this web app name. OK. Hope you guys understood that piece, the difference. We can let me get some extra space And let's come back to this app service plan. So when you come to this app service plan, the file storage is whatever it was displayed, 50 GB. I think I remember it was 50 GB. Yeah, come on. Show me the number, please. It's not going to listen to me. That should be fine. A lot of people don't listen to me. It's not something new. Okay, jokes apart. Yeah, 50 GB hard disk. So this is the computing power. You can come and you can do scale up or scale down based on your requirement. Now you see this. This single app service plan has been utilized by two different apps. So you see that one app service plan, here it is, the app service plan has been used by the API as well as web app. Hope this clears a little bit more. OK, that means you're on a shared space. So this app service plan has been used by these two different apps. So let me open up the API in another tab and web app in another tab. Now I want to give some other extra knowledge. This is an API and this is the web app. OK, so what I'll do is I'll move this to this side of the world so that it will be easy for us to jump between these. Now you come and click on this. It opens up a website. Where is this coming from? Who has decided that this file should be shown? So for that, you need to come to that web app and go to the configuration. If you go to this configuration, in 2003 and 4, we used to all the way till 2010, we used to work heavily on IaaS, setting up small virtual machines on private data centers and configuring the application. So those kinds will definitely know, people who have worked in that time, they definitely know that there will be something known as default apps or default files which will be configured. Even I worked in ASP, classic ASP, 1999, 2000. So we used to work in this default ASP, default HTML, default HTML, index HTML, index HTML, IIS start HTML, default ASPX, index PHP, hosting start HTML. These are the default documents. When you go to the fully qualified domain name of this app, it shows one out of this. So that means whatever you're seeing in this fully qualified domain name is one out of this. How do we know which one? Let's do that next. You can do multiple ways. I'll show you this way first. App Service Editor. You click on App Service Editor and go. It takes 1 minute. You might have access or you might not have access, but I'm showing you what's happening under the hoods. OK, so it will help you to investigate. Even operation team is taking care of this. At least you will be in a position to tell him to, hey, go there, check the configuration, what files are there, then come back to the app service editors. Are you seeing any file? Hosting start HTML. Where did we see this? If you go to this configuration and in the default documents, we had set of file names, default document, set of file names. Hosting start is the last one. That is what is here. And you're seeing this. No wonder. So I will delete it. And without this, no session is complete. So we changed it. Now this proves that whatever the hosting start HTML, which is available as part of the default documents, which will be inside our website, will be shown here. Now I want to give you some more extra knowledge. Go to the advanced. I love this Kudu Katsur. Seriously, I love this. This is keys of the kingdom, folks. Please be very, very careful. I'm again giving the disclaimer. These are keys of the kingdom. Please be very, very careful. Okay, see home, go to the sites, and there is dub root. Inside that, you will have this root, and this is another way you can reach the Kudu console, right? So this is hosting start HTML. That hope we did a lot of deep dive into this app service, the hosting plan, and what is the starting document you're seeing. OK, I think that should be good enough. Let's go to task 5. Yeah, task 4 web app. What is that? API? Yeah, that's API. Now let's go and configure. See what we are doing is we need to configure the web app. OK, and in the app service blade, we went to the configuration. We saw that. OK, this is for the API. OK, in the configuration, new application settings, we need to add storage connection string, and the value we need to copy that. OK, storage connection string. Let's go and create. And then the properties. OK, so let's start coming back to our API. Let's go to the configuration. We saw the default documents. Now the configuration piece. Here is asking to click on this and storage connection string. Where do you get the storage connection string? We can come to the access keys, and these are the connection strings. I'll copy and then come back to this. Didn't I copy that? Copied. I save it and save the configuration. So now you see there will be storage connection string. The value is hidden. If you want to see, you can click on this. You will see that. Or you want to see only the first piece, just click on this. At least you'll, if you are knowing that what it is, you can show and hide. But clicking on this name, it will give you full access. That's the next configuration we did is we created the storage account. And then app service setting properties link. Properties, in this properties section, copy the value of the URL hyperlink and paste it in the notepad. I will tell you what is this guy means. Now, if you come back to the properties, guys, someone has unmuted themselves. If you have any queries, you can speak, or please go on mute. Here is asking us to copy this URL. It's telling to go to the properties. In the properties section, copy the link of the URL hyperlink. We don't need it. We will get it from the overview page. And apart from that, in this properties section, you will get the inbound and outbound IPs. So if at all you are integrating or punching the hole in the firewall of a SQL server, you need what is the outbound IPs, which it is. These are the outbound IPs. That means the traffic will come from this. This is a virtual IP. If it is a public IP, we should be able to see the default page. Is it a public IP or it's a, oh, it's virtual IP. We'll get it from the main page itself. See, whatever the address is here, we can come back to the overview section. Inside the overview section, we'll have this one. So we can click on it. So that's the reason I said that we don't need to specifically copy it from there. We will get it from the main page itself. OK, that being said, we have configured the connection string, and also we know from where we can get this one. Now we need to deploy this web application to the web app. So you see that the starter API, it is here. So we go to that, expand the controllers folder. There is a folder already available, and we need to get the resource group and get it. And web apps list will get the list, and we can go and deploy this directly from there, and we can manage it. OK, so let's do this piece step by step. OK, we'll read one by one. When we are doing it for the web app, we can go a little bit faster, because one thing which we did it step by step, I think other will be very easy for us to do. So let me close all other windows. What is this? Yeah, Kudu console. We don't need it at this point of time. We don't need this one also. OK. I think I closed it unknowingly. OK, we'll come to the Kudu console for the web API, because that's needed for us, because we are doing some changes. We want to ensure that things are working as expected. So I'll come back to this, and let's open the Kudu console, go back to this one, the debug console and site. And let's go to www-root. OK, at this point of time, posting start HTML, that's the only thing which is there. We verified it. Now let's come back to my virtual machine, and let me go to the location. What is that location this guy is telling? Open that, and in the file explorer, browse all files lab starter API. So I need to go to all files. Labs 01 starter API. OK, we are in this folder. Then we'll open that and expand and select the images controller. Open the file in editor. So here in line 16, we have some piece of information. OK, in line 36, and these are some of the lines. And first thing, I already logged in. So what I can do is I can go AZ account show up. So it will show my account, Azure sponsorship. Now, whatever is asking, let's see that one also. Let's get into the controllers. Let's go to the image controller. And you can see that in the image controller, in line number 26 first, in the line number 26. So we are getting get blob container, and it is using the connection string. So the connection string is coming in from here in this app settings. So that is what these guys are getting these options and reading this options.connection string. That means technically it is reading it from here. That's one piece. And the second piece is line 36. And again, if you see that line 36 get is bringing in all the images, and container image we are using it. OK, and full image container name. The full image container name, again, you are seeing full image container name is images, the one which we created earlier. And line 55. If you come to line 55, there's another method post which will create it. So you can see that image container name is again, these are the two things. Thumbnail image container name, I am not sure. Are they using it? No, they are not using it here. OK, those are the two values which are being used. So we have come till here, and as you, I already did login. Now we need to do this. These are some of the commands. Let me put it here so that it will be easy for me to go and modify this. Let me come and get this resource group name. OK, let's copy one by one and we'll execute it and we'll discuss. While we are executing, we'll discuss this one and this one. And OK, at least first let's execute this one. So what is the first command which is doing? So we are getting web apps list. That means technically it should show two web apps, whatever we have it. So let me open up the terminal and execute this command. That's the pain. No, I need to paste it here and then copy it from there. OK, I got it. So it should display those two of the web apps which we already created it. Now you don't need that much time. So you see that it has showed those two web apps. So this is the API. And somewhere it will be web app also. So technically this shows that. And so other one is we are doing specifically we are picking up the image so that it is spitting out a lot of information when we search. So the other thing is we just wanted its name. So let's pick up that. So all these commands they have given, only thing is it differs in the resource group because we have taken a separate resource group instead of managed what they suggested. That's the only change we did it. It gives us the image API 3rd December. So all is well till here. So we executed all these commands and we were able to get it. Now here in the starter API, OK, enter the following command and select enter to deploy API zip file. So in this file, Microsoft has already created a zip file, and inside the zip file, they have compiled, they would have compiled or they have zipped it. Let's see what is that. It is there inside the zip file. Double click the zip file. See this, that's the published item. You're not seeing any of the C# files. So this is the published zip file. So things have been published and it is already available in the zip file. So they made our life easy. In fact, they made us lazy. OK, we are not doing it. It's already done. So that means we are becoming lazy. It's not good for our health. Jokes apart, let me come back and put it here. I'm little mad on this formatting stuff. Excuse me for my not exactly OCD, but let me paste it. OK. What is the web app name? That's good point. Here is that. Name of the web API. Copy this command and come back to the place where you have it. And it should be cd cd all files. And inside all files, you're having lab. And inside that, and cd starter. And the good thing is this is Windows. If it is Linux, it will definitely ask for the casing. So this file is here. Now when I paste it, observe this AZ web app deployment source, the config zip. OK, and resource group is this one, and source is API zip, and the name is image API 03 December. So I just click OK, and that will start the deployment. OK, let's see. It started deploying. Now we can come back over here and we can do a refresh of this. We can go back to the site and we can come back to this. It is OK, it's done. So technically it should have. Let me do a clear. There you go. So we have all these things. For some reason, it didn't reflect. It didn't reflect it there, but it is showing it here. It will reflect. Let me do a see that. Let's go back to the site. Let me go back to the site. You can see that the published image, the published binary is here. All is well. Now, how do we access this? So we can access this. You can go to the route. OK, API route is they just gave it like this, and we can get it. This is the one. OK, so let's see. Let's see this. Come back. Oh, this is an image store. And let me click on that. And let's see. You saw that? We got the API. Because how do you know when you come to that controller, they're going root, because they're not going /API/controller. They're just going root. That means the fully qualified domain name /root, and check the methods, action methods. There are two action methods. One is get and one is post. So the get also doesn't have any root prefix, just root. So that means if we go to the fully qualified domain name, that is going to spit out that. So I think we are in a pretty good shape. What is this guy asking? Resource group management previously done and manage blade. Select the image API web app previously created in this lab. From the app service, click on browse. Return to the browser that containing the portal. Close the running Visual Studio Code. But what happens is at this point of time we were able to create it the API. OK, so we are able to see also the data, whatever the number of images. Also we are able to see if you come to the get method. This is what we are doing, where results is the list of string to the rest of string, we are combining the blob images, and we are sending it out, all the enumerable of strings. Okay, that's done. So now we need to come to the front end web app. The web app, we already created it 20 minutes ago. So we don't need to go through that again. All we need to do is configure this web app. So here in this one, we need to create a API URL. So one thing, API URL, again, the application settings. Enter the web app URL that you have copied previously in the lab. Note that, make sure you include HTTPS protocol. So if you see this, this is having the HTTPS connection is secure, because that's the certificate which has been given to wildcard like star.azure websites. So this is useful. So that means it is in HTTPS. So that's the only thing is asking us to take care. So now let's go and create it. Let's go and create it. Let's go and create it. So let's go to the configuration, and inside the configuration, we need to create another application settings, and in new application settings, that's the API URL, and we need to copy this and put it here and ensure that it is HTTPS, not HTTP. Now, do we need it trailing this one? That's a good question. If the trailing is there, then it creates a problem. How are they accessing this one? Let's see that. Because if we save this with the trailing slash, if the trailing slash is being prefixed in the web app, then we are gone. So let's see in the pages. Here also they created in the index. That's an API URL. And in the index, that's coming to the options. OK. So that's, it shouldn't trouble, but better. Let's remove the trailing place. If it is troubling, we'll come back and we will save it. But based on the code, what I see is we don't need the trailing slash, because here they're taking it and HTTP client get string async and just giving the URL. So as far as I think, we don't need that. OK, and another thing is we don't need to go through all this painful process just to get the image name, because we already know, we have gone through that process. So no need to again execute the same set of commands. Let's save some time. I'll close this. The resource group we will change, because we know that what is the resource group name and the web app name. So this is for the web app. The previously it was for the API, and that was web, if I'm not wrong. Let's check that. It's web, image web. Now, image web. OK, so now we need to come back to my virtual machine and get to the terminal. Now cd dot dot. And we do a ls, and I need to put it here to copy that. That's a painful process, but I'm fine. OK, so we see that web.zip, that it is here, and this is the web application name, and we can again do the same thing. Let's keep it here. And this is the web application. If we are lucky, we'll see that under construction. We'll see because, oh, it deployed it. It's so fast. Cool. So we can upload new images and we can browse the existing images. These are the images which we have uploaded it previously. So we did that and we went to the site and we uploaded new images. We can upload some other images if we have. What I can do is I can open this. Woo! No, let's create a new image. OK, so let's go and oh, I have this many images. Why don't I upload it from here? So let's come back to the site. Browse. Movies world. There you go. We uploaded and we are able to see. You want to upload new one? We can do that. This time eShop microservices, which is coming up in 2023. So there you go. eShop microservices. Cool. So with that, we conclude our first lab. OK, so let's quickly recap what did we do, and then we'll go to the second lab. OK, so we created the store and we created the store and we uploaded the images. Then we created one app service and two web apps. And we learned what is the starting document. And also we uploaded manually and we configured and we learned about the zip deploy command. And we did upload, we did a little bit of deep dive into some of the configuration properties to check that where we'll get inbound and outbound IPs and how does it all connect to each other. OK, so any queries till now? Anyone? You guys are on? Anybody able to hear me? Amitabh, Ajanta, Anish, Annapurna, Vidya, Harika, Narsimharao, Rajesh, Ranjita, Srinivasan, Bhaskaran. You guys are there or did I lose you?
Yeah, fine, sir.
Oh, you're here. OK, cool. At least now I know that I am not speaking to me. Someone is said, cool. Let's go to the next one. Or do you guys need 5 minutes break? If I don't listen from you, I will start the second lab. Cool. Thanks, Srinivasan. Chalo. One vote, Srinivasan. Let's go. Let's do the. OK. Did you guys learn anything new in this first lab? You guys can unmute and speak. This 5 minutes we'll spend on discussion to see how people are enjoying this session. Do I need to reduce my speed or do something else, tweak it? Or if we are all good, we can go ahead with the second lab. Rajesh or Annapurna, Narasimha Rao, Srinivasan, Ajanta, Anish, AIG, Harika, anything about this one lab which we did it? If all is good, then we'll go to the second lab. Okay, cool then. So I go to the lab 2. So we completed the first lab. Now the second lab is very interesting lab. I love this Azure function, and wow, there's a lot of things. I think it will take uh, longer than this first lab. Why I'm thinking is because you see the architectural diagram has got more pieces. Okay, so even though it is one Azure function, it has got three different one function app, three different Azure functions. It's a serverless plan. Here it is the app service plan. That means whether you use it or whether you don't use it, we are going to pay 5,000 rupees in the S1 plan. That is the app service plan. But here we are going ahead with the serverless plan. That means if in 1 month there are only 100 calls each, that means a total of 300 calls. Each call is of 2 minutes. So 300 into 2, 600 minutes. We'll get charged only for the 600 minutes. Whereas in the previous lab where we did it, we were expecting a huge traffic to our web application, and we took a S1 standard plan, which is costing around 5,000 Indian rupees. So no matter the traffic is coming to this web application or not, we still have to pay 5,000. That's one difference you guys have to note is here we are going it with the serverless plan. And here also we have some store, some content is getting uploaded. I'm very interested to see this. Create and configure local function projects, deploy it, update the settings, upload settings JSON. And this guy is reading from the settings JSON. This is echo function. This is recurring. Maybe this is like timer, I assume. Wow, that's pretty much.
Sorry, Swamy, we cannot see your screen.
Was it?
Yes, I cannot. Or maybe
hey,
it is with me or with other also.
Anyone else are able to see it?
I can see it.
Not able to see. Not able to see. No.
Oh, okay. Okay, only Ajanta, you are able to see.
Yes, I can see his screen.
Okay. So I will stop and reshare it. Now?
Yes, now I can able to see. Yeah. Thank
Yeah,
you.
Rajesh, you?
Fine.
Okay, cool. Okay, thanks, Srinivasan. Give me a shout if you're for any reason. Sometimes what happens is it does this, but this is very interesting. I am very much interested to do this. Just give me one quick minute. I'll be back in a minute. Thanks, guys. I am back. Let me share my screen. Hope my screen is visible. Tell. Let's start. Okay, please, anyone give me a shout if you're unable to. Let's reuse the same storage account. No point in creating another storage account. That's the storage account name. I feel that we'll use the same storage account because we'll reuse this same storage account. My younger son, 6 years old. So there will be some kind of disturbance for sure. Everything is same. So this exactly matches. We created it and create a function app. So this is very interesting piece. We will go ahead and create the function app and insert the function app. The thing is that until unless you choose the plan to be serverless, it's not a serverless. Even though you're doing Azure functions, if you select a hosting plan, that means you're paying fixed amount. So that doesn't come under the function serverless. OK, so that means every month you pay, whether you're using this function or whether you're not using the function. Then when you know that you have a predictable number of requests in a month, and that is matching around the 5,000, 6,000 rupees, it makes sense to take the hosting plan. When you know that there'll be very less traffic, at that time it doesn't make sense to go ahead with the app service plan, because if there are 1,000 calls throughout month and it is assume that it is costing only 100 rupees. There's no point in going and taking S1 plan and paying 6,000 rupees per month. OK, now you need to know the load before choosing whether it is a serverless app, the app service plan. Assume that you took serverless plan and you got a bill of 10,000 rupees. Now you understand that, oh, the load is more. It doesn't make sense to use serverless. Let's go back to standard plan. So you need to be a little bit dynamic and see this one change is we will take Linux as operating system and the plan type is this one. Let's get going. Fingers crossed. I think I'll keep those. Yeah, just give me a favor. Just do me a favor. Try accessing this. And you can type if you're able to access. Thanks, Srinivasan. Guys, I posted one URL. Just try accessing. This is the one. I'm closing those so that we'll get some extra space. OK, let's go with this one. Function logic. The storage account we are reusing, folks. This one, function app. Will create. So subscription is same. The resource group also the same. Name Func Logic 3rd December 2022. And the publish type is code. And the runtime stack is .NET 6. Oh, 7 is there. But see, guys, 5 is not there. So I'm not stopping you guys from creating web apps or web API or whatever is your task or project in .NET 7. You use it, but please keep a watch on .NET 8. The moment .NET 8 comes, please migrate from .NET 7 to .NET 8. And I was mentioning that we are starting the microservice uh, series from Jan. So that microservice series will be in .NET 7. So I'll ensure that .NET 8 comes, I will upgrade it, but that will be with .NET 7 and Angular 14 app. So we will have 5 different repositories with somewhere around 6 to 8 containers in Azure Kubernetes service. And that is for sure intermediate and above. So I assume that you guys have some base knowledge, but please, if you're interested to learn the microservices, how to build the entire solution in microservice, please join that series starting Jan 2023. OK, you will learn Angular TypeScript. I mean, not learn, building the solution with Angular TypeScript, .NET 7, SQL Server, MongoDB, API Gateway, Terraform, Azure Kubernetes, GitHub Actions, everything will be there. Very interesting, but it's a little bit advanced concepts. Prashmita will publish in next 2 weeks. She'll publish the Jan event. That will be small, but next will be 1.5 hours. OK, stories apart. Let's go and do this. East US. And operating system is Linux. It will be a little bit different, folks. And the consumption plan. See this. You can go on function premium or app service plan. And the consumption plan, this guy is putting in brackets. That means that is only true serverless. If you take it app service plan, that means again you'll come and you'll choose this. You're going to pay. Now, if it is consumption, that is the true serverless. OK, so we have selected that and we did it. And in the hosting tab, perform the following option. The storage account drop down. That's the one. I mean, we are reusing the same. So here they take func store. We are using it. Select create. We'll go couple of things. Oh, application insights is needed because in the image we are seeing that function logic application insights is needed. So this is serverless. This is this. We definitely need it. Application insights. Let it deploy. Why is that? What does it say? Storage account. Already done. Let's see, no problem. So this is the server forms, means app service plan. And I want to show you something else there. server forms, app service plan. So it has taken some name, let it be. And it created a website. That website is for the logic app. That's the name which we have given. Sorry, function app. That's the name which we have given. And it created the app service application insights. I'm sorry, application insights. So let's go to this one and let's see what changes was done to this. We can come in here and use a storage explorer. Now this is very good. One thing you observe at this point of time in the file share, there's nothing. We'll come back and we'll revisit that. And here you see that SCM releases. And keep a watch on this. We'll come back to these two places. OK, so this images which is already there and see the difference. The logs which it created at 10:21. This was at 10:25 when we uploaded. Now it is 11:30 AM. It's just now it created. That means it has to do something with the function app. We'll come and we'll probe that. For the time being, let's park it and come back to the file share and you see there's nothing. Come back to the tables. You see nothing. Come back to the queues. You see nothing. That's cool. So, but we will revisit the file share as well as the blob container. Let's keep it there. And now, if you come to the previous app service plan where we created here, the app service plan, it shows as S1. Now we'll go to this app service plan, which is linked with this Azure function app. Now there's a file storage and you see that these options has been disabled. It has got 1 GB. And when you come to the apps, so this particular app service is being shared by one function app and this function app is running. It's in Linux. We'll leave it at that. When you come back here, you'll see that Y1. So let's search what is this Y1. What is this Y1? You see here. Y1 is dynamic. So D1 is shared, F1 free, B1, B series is basic, S series is standard, P series is premium, P1 V2 is premium V2, I series is isolated, Y1 is dynamic. So that's for consumption plan. So our app service plan is the consumption plan and that's dynamic plan. And let me open up this in a separate window, this in a separate window so that we have. I'll drag this towards the side and we need to have the image store first. And let's keep a close watch on this too. And we have this function app. Why did I? OK, this is the application insights. Let's keep the live metrics on. And let's go back. So we have reused the storage accounts, saved some 10 minutes time, and we created a function app, which is of Linux operating system and serverless consumption plan. That means it is Y1 and it's called dynamic. That's the consumption plan. Now we created a function app has been created and everything we did it here. Configure a local function project. OK, now let's read these instructions first and then we'll go. On the taskbar, open the terminal, blah, 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 whatever it is. Run the command func init. Okay, so what it's telling is to get into the starter function and execute this worker runtime.NET force. And then first we'll do this step by step. No. Let me close all. This guy has already created it. Wants us to do it here. Okay, we'll do it. Go to the func. Okay, we'll come to the starter. I'll close the completed one. Come in here and cd func. Now, cool. We are in this one. Now it's asking us to execute this command. So let's go here. I need to copy this command to the clipboard, then paste it here. That's a pain, I understand, but that's fine. So let me minimize this. Okay. So it's executing it. Let it. So first thing is that. So it did some changes. You can see that it created this and it created the function project. And we see that local settings and we see host JSON. OK, that's cool. It has created these things. And configuring the connection string, we went and then we selected the folder and local settings. That's what we saw that first. And we ensured that Azure Web Job Storage use development storage equal to true. That is there. Change the value of element to the connection string storage account we recorded earlier. Save the JSON file. That means what? Connection string copy. So that connection string, we will paste it instead of this. Okay, and I need to go through this painful process. Allow this. Save this file. We did that. That step is over. We updated the connection string. Now build and validate the project. What is there to build? We don't have any files there. Oh, OK, we are adding it. OK, let's try that. I don't have any problem. So let's get into that. I was just a little worried. Yeah, not that big. I think the project will be 6 or 7. I don't know. Yeah, it's .NET 6. It's not .NET 3 because I have .NET 6 on my box. So it will build it to .NET 6. That step is done. In this exercise, we created a local project and we were able to created. That is done. Now what we will do, we'll create a function that triggers an HTTP request. That's pretty cool. We are in that. Now the first one is echo. It's very simple type. We'll go ahead and create it now. Again, I need to copy this to the clipboard and from clipboard copy it. Oh God, it's pain. But I love this pain. Let's see. We are creating an HTTP triggered function. The function name is echo. We see the changes. There is an echo.cs. Right? We have this echo.cs. Let's see. Let's move. Now we need to write the function in the starter folder. We select echo.cs. The code, observe the example implementation. So let's see, function name is this. And we are using get and post, that request. And we are retrieving the query name. And maybe we are wishing that guy. That's what it is. OK, delete the all code inside this. And let's copy this. Let's paste this. And ow, Jesus. Oh, I didn't copy it here. Let's copy this. OK, Alt-Shift-F, that's a command to format it. And then we'll keep this, we'll break that and come back to here directly. Because technically he's asking us to go step by step. We'll jump line to save some time. OK, I can do this in one line. OK. And after that, is asking us to add. That should have told me first. OK, inside the run, you need to have this entire block. So I bought that. And then we'll format it here. Chalo, I saved it. That's cool. So that's action result and HTTP trigger. Now only post is allowed. Previously, if you see that, we used to allow get and post. And we used to read the query. But now this code, we are saying that we are going to allow only HTTP post kind of trigger. We are not going to allow anything. So let's get this request. And we are sending it back. We are not doing anything. It's just echo function, isn't it? Whatever you send, it will send you back. So that might be the intention of this. And then I'll copy this. And let's paste it here. Let's format this. I think that's the intention of this exercise. We are receiving a function. We wrote a function which receives an input through the body because that's the HTTP post and we are sending the body out. Right? And that file looks, these are the two lines, we saved it and test the HTTP trigger. We can do func start build. And let's do that. We are in this func start. -build, I think it builds it. If not, we will use that build parameter. I think func start should start. And it's using, guys, we have updated one setting. Instead of using the local web storage, we started using this one. Now see, and this is the one. I think we might need Postman for this because it's a post request. Or did this guy give some curl? Yeah. We can install this and we can test with the REPL. Ooh, that's painful. I don't want to go through that route. Better I'll use the Postman. I'll put it here and I'll go and use post and let's send. Did it throw anything? It didn't because we didn't send anything in the body. And let's say raw and let's put some JSON and ID. And let's send that. So it's giving that. So whatever the body which we send, it receives and it sends it back. So that's what we are doing in this 2 lines. Here, whatever we receive, we are sending it out. So we can see that whatever the request which we receive, received request with body. So this is autopilot. So the moment see this, the moment I press enter, artificial intelligence, it expects that what should be the next line. So, so I use it. Without that, I can't code. So I will close this and func start. We can use these commands which were specified, but I'm a little lazy. I'm a lazy guy, so I'm using Postman. To see this, I sent A101 and go and check that. See that received a request with body. Wow, I should have done JSON serializer. But anyways, but we know that we can log in, but it's just stream. So we know that it works. Now create a function that triggers on schedule. OK, we will definitely do that. Before that, let's take a quick break to come and probe those things. We had a couple of items which we want to probe. So if I come in here, there's nothing in here. The containers, now you see there are changes. So that means now you understand why Azure function needs a storage account of its own. So it keeps all those files and keeps all those secrets. See that function logic and in the host JSON, be a little careful, people, where you store it. Others do not have access to those storage accounts and SCM releases. More changes will come. I'm just wanted to show you that before we jump in further. So let me kill this and close that. let's come back to this. Now we'll create another function that triggers on schedule. OK, this is the timer trigger. How does the timer trigger work in dynamic? It shouldn't. Maybe they changed it. Let's try. I'm a little skeptic on this. Func new template timer name recurring. Let's try that. I will learn it for sure. So func new template was successfully created. OK, I love this. Now observe the code. Yeah, we observed it. Very, very good. Now func run, he's asking to run that. OK, let's run that. I'll make it every 1 minute. We can't wait 5 minutes. Let's do not fun. Let's do a func start. Over here, we did that and observe the function that runs and occurs about every 5 minutes. The function should render simple message log. OK. So we have two functions. One function is the HTTP trigger and one function is timer trigger. It clearly shows echo is having HTTP and recurring. It is timer trigger. Let's see that. Let's wait a minute. So display. Wait more. Oh, OK, that's cool. So C# timer triggered function executed at 11:52. So let's wait for 1 more minute. Let's see another message, then we can stop. Let's wait for another minute. Let's keep it 1 minute because 5 minutes is like we're wasting a lot of time. When we are deploying, we'll deploy with 1 minute. Anyways, I'm going to kill the entire resource group after this demo, so it's not going to cost anything. It's 11:52. Let's give it 10 more seconds. 10 more seconds. There you go. So 11:52, 11:53. Let's kill it. Let's come back. So we verified it, and this guy is asking us to go and update it to 30 seconds. Oh, Jesus Christ. I thought I'll keep it 1 minute. These guys are more aggressive than me. Every 30 seconds. Jesus. That's asterisk 30. So every 30 seconds, I love this. Cool, we saved it. Now observe the function run. Yeah, it will run for 30 seconds. We don't need to look at it. create a function that integrates with other service. This is the good thing to do. So on Azure portal, navigation resource, select serverless resource group that we created and select the func store storage account. Containers and create a new container, and that container name is content. So which we already have some of the containers. Let's go to the containers and let's add a new container called content. So that means the sub function app is going to read from this content container. And public access level, set it to private. That means people should not have even read access. This is they can read. This is unlimited talk time kind of thing. This is private, no access. So let's take this no access on that. And return to the containers and select the recent content container and click on upload and go and upload that. Now let's get into this container. And what is that we need to upload? In the starter of lab2, there is a settings.json. Let's go to the lab2 and starter. There is a settings.json file. So let's come in here and click on upload to the content. Browse files, settings, override if exist. I know it's not there, but bad habits die hard. So I'm closing that. So we have uploaded this one. This piece is done. And on the taskbar, we need to create another HTTP function. Maybe we will read it from that. I assumed it right. So let me copy that, come back to my virtual machine. And where is this guy? The mediator. Let's get this function ready and write the HTTP trigger to blob input function. OK, so the trigger is HTTP trigger. So we will go and read the blob from there. So this is the default one, which we don't need to focus on that. So what we will do is we will directly steal from here. OK, we'll directly steal the code. Here, this is the one. I'll explain what this guy is doing. Get settings. Now I need to copy to that intermediate tree and then come back over here, then copy and paste, get settings. We don't need this. We'll close it. Technically, what is that it is happening? I'll explain. OK, that's done. So you're not seeing any curly brackets or anything. Don't worry. This is the latest syntax. This, if at all there is a single line, you can use lambda expression and spit it out. That itself, it assumes that you want to return that. OK, it's a .NET 6 and C# 10. I assume. So what is that which is happening here is we can go back to the previous resource groups. I will show you something else. If we come to one of those my previous resource groups, and here If you come to this mini project 4 and inside this functions, oh, I'm sorry, I selected wrong one. Oh, it's a HTTP. Oh, Jesus, I'm sorry. It's a HTTP. It's a HTTP triggered only. But when you come to this integration, this is where you need to understand what is that it is happening. So observe this diagram. So the trigger and you have these things. So output and inputs. So when you go to output, it allows you to add. At this point of time, I disabled it. That's the reason it's not showing the plus symbol to add any inputs and any outputs. OK, so always a Azure function will have one trigger. There is one good reason to hit Azure function. Only one trigger. You can have one or more inputs and you can have one or more outputs. So with this pictorial representation in our mind, let's go and read the code. Now here, what is this guy telling is, what is the trigger? The trigger is HTTP trigger get. OK, and is having this input is reading it from the content settings.json. OK, that is the thing which is happening over here. Now register Azure Storage Blob extension. Why? Can we do that? OK, let's do that. Let's install this one. I think we might need to go to Visual Studio 2022 to fix this because the project itself is .NET 6. We are installing a library which is lesser than that. I assume it might trouble. I'm not sure, but let's go ahead and see if it is building, then well and good. If it is not, then at least we'll know that we can't do such kind of misadventures. .NET build. Let me minimize that. I'm a little skeptic, but it is if it is working well and good, cool. I'm happy on that. It's working. So now what we will do is we'll func start. I'm not giving that ---- build parameter because anyways, that is taking care of build also. This command. So let's stick with this. And it should spit what all the things it is exposing. You can see that echo here. It says that echo is HTTP triggered with post. It supports only post. Now get settings. It's going to support only get. And there's one recurring. So this I think we can hit it through the browser also because it's just a get settings get method, isn't it? You don't need to do it exclusively from this one, or we can use curl also. See, if you don't know how to use curl, here you can see the code snippets. You can use REST Sharp or Java, JavaScript, Node.js, Python, Ruby, Shell, blah, blah, blah. There are a lot of things, but I'll select this curl and copy the snippet and open the terminal. You're getting down. So because this is the GET request, we did it through browser, through Postman, and through curl. If you don't know curl or anything, this will be here. The code symbol, just click on that in the Postman and in the drop down, whatever you want. You want C# with REST client, or you want with a Dart or Go native, or with fetch the latest way of JavaScript, or you want C library or Node.js with Axios. There you go. You got Node.js, or you want Java or PHP or Python, whatever you want. I mean, they are supporting a lot of things. It's wonderful. OK, so we learned something else also while walking this journey. So we were able to validate. I mean, the only thing is HTTP REPL. I'm a little lazy. I'm not using it. Apart from that, we are seeing this output exactly whatever we should see. Now the deployment phase. Now just before deploying, let's come back real quick to the storage account and let's go to the containers. And you see this one. Here you're seeing the timers. OK. And you see this one, func logic. And the content is the one which we did it. And this SCM releases is right now it is empty because we didn't deploy anything to the Azure function right now. OK, that's cool. That being said, we need to come to the login app and we need to publish it. The function app name. Let's take that. Publish this function. What is the function app name? Func logic. That's this one. I'm copying it, come back. So Azure function app, publish. So all these three functions will get published. Now let me come back to my virtual machine and expand this copy. I need to go through this little painful process, but I love that. Click on that. It's publishing. See that? It's uploading the packages. And deployment is completed. Syncing the triggers. There you go. We got everything. Let's hold on. Let's come back to the storage account. Technically, we should not mix. I mixed it because I'm lazy. Come to the SCM release. Nothing is there. Logs. And this. Not was expecting. Was not. Let's see the containers. SCM release. Does it have anything? Let me go to the containers. The secrets. A lot of things are there. But you see 1, 2, 3. I'm sure file share should be there. I don't know why, but we'll see. Let's come back here. Let's probe it here. So when you come to this function app, you can go to this functions. So let's click on each one of them to see echo. So if you want to do a testing, you can come here to do this testing. Generally, you will not have access to this for multiple reasons. This is echo, so it will support only post, and inside the body, M101. Oh. And a name. Let's run this. So we ran it and HTTP response, you're seeing that. So it received it. We were able to test the first function. The same thing which we can do it with this. That's the code which we have to prefix it. So I can come into the Postman. This is not the local host. We are going to the hosted environment. Okay, I send it. It gives this. Now let me come back to the body. Let me copy that. Come back. You see that that's a deployed one. Let's go to the body and draw. And the JSON. See that? Now you can come back to the echo. And if you come to the monitor here, under monitor, it will have all the previous logs. It takes time, but we'll come back. So let's see the live metrics. Because all the clicks, whatever we are doing, what? Data is temporarily inaccessible. Oh, Jesus. Now, at least let's see the application map. So you can see this 8 calls were made. We didn't. We did a integration with storage account. So there should be a link from storage account to this one. It has yet to show that. So let's see. Let's get all the data. So we can see the logs here. There are 201 traces. So a mix of all will be here. See that? We can do. We don't have any exception because we didn't write a big code. We wrote a very small code. We can't do chest thumping, just that. We wrote a very, very small code. OK, that we tested. Now the second one, let's test is the get settings. Let's copy this. And then let's go to the Postman. And click on that. Let's click this multiple times. Because now what is happening is there is an integration between the function app and the storage account. Now, when we go to that application map, that should show that there is a linkage between this. So that was the reason I'm just behind it to update the components. Why there is nothing available? It should show the integration. Oh God, what? 4 instances. There you go. So it's going to the function app. It's going to the image store. And this integration also is very, very important. So if you have this, at least you know the application map. OK, this Azure function is speaking with what all the other services. and how many calls went through. What is the average time? You can see 10.2 milliseconds and 28, almost 30 milliseconds. The storage account, what storage account it is integrating with. And I don't know, for some reason, it's not spitting out the live metrics. If not, that would have been wonderful thing to look at it. And the transaction search is like we can specifically get whatever we want. We can get into this failures. If at all something has failed, you will know the reason why it failed. But my go-to place is this. I love this guy very much. Application map. It gives us a clear picture like what is that it is happening. And there are some other things which I would like to give you is, let's come back to this invocations and to see that. So all the invocations, you know that you can specifically click on this. It gives that the logs, whatever you write it. And it gives how many milliseconds it took, what is the result. And this is what I was talking about, the integration piece. Now, we did integration for get settings, isn't it? We'll see this. Let's go to that. And we'll go to this get settings. And anyways, we know that we can code and test from here. We'll see that. OK, you can click on get function URL, and function URL will have the code. And you can do test. It supports get. And click on run. You got the output. And you can see here, it will spit that all the things which it is doing. So going and talking to that and everything. You can come back here and refresh it. So 30, 40 calls are still there. I mean, it takes a little bit time to update the update this invocations because it has to go from one system to another system. So it definitely takes time. So you see that all the calls which we made it, everything is getting tracked here. And when you come and see the integration piece, this is where you see the difference. I will show you in the previous lab. Let me come back here. Let me enable this. Let's wait. Wow, it takes a little bit time because it was lying dead since long. I just enabled it now. So it is, looks like it is still booting up. You can see that in the bindings. It's a HTTP in and output. It's going to the table so that you will see in the integration piece. In that integration block, you see that the output and the input. And I think I'll disable this. Let me go back to the previous another function. I think I'll go to this mini project 2. Whatever I want to show is not available in those things. So let me show it from here. Yeah, this is what I want to show you. Okay, so see this. You have one trigger and you can have one or more inputs and one or more outputs. When you click on input, that you can write it in your JSON file also. So here are the types of bindings. Okay, blob storage, Cosmos, table, durable function, orchestration client, or signal R connection. Okay, so I think maybe the template is little old, but if we do it, we will get more of those bindings. See this here, there are output bindings. There are a lot of bindings. We need to get deep into the documentation to find out what uh, what kind of bindings it is available. Okay, so that being said, we were able to test echo as well as this. Let's see the recurring application insight has been set up. Let's see application insight. How is that behaving now? We made few other calls, one or two. See that it was 30 and 40. Now it is 33 and 44 calls. Live metrics, please give it. I think it might take a minimum 20 minutes. I know that it troubles us. That should be fine. Fair enough. Let's come back to this recurring. This is connected. Let's wait. 1203. Let's wait for 2 minutes. I think that was in local machine. It was executing, but it will not execute here in the deployed space because it needs a dedicated app service plan. It will not work with consumption plan. That's what I told when we were starting creating the triggered function. I said that how will it work when we are using the consumption plan? It shouldn't. Let's see the documentation also. Maybe they changed something, I don't know. But let's wait for 1 minute. Oh, it's also 30 seconds. It should hit it by this time. OK, let's count now. OK, 2, 3. See, it's not hitting. It will not. Because that was local. We were able to test it on the local machine. See, this is the hosted environment. Timer triggered function will not work with the consumption plan. But I was amazed to see that, hey, this will not work. See this, 30 seconds is passed. See, I'll show you. That is what I told when we were starting it. It will not work. Let's come back to this. Now, let me clear it off and I do func start. Let it start. Here every 30 seconds it works because this is my local machine. But in the hosted environment, it will not, for sure. Because the plan itself is, we have chosen the wrong plan. Only this is very specific to the timer trigger functions. So timer trigger function needs a different plan. See that? It is working on my local machine. And here, see, since that it didn't work. So let's see. How can I move this to a different app service plan? Can I change that? That's the reason it's not showing that. See,
Change app service plan is disabled, I think, so we cannot change it.
yeah, that's why it's disabled. So see this consumption plan, it will not trigger if it is consumption plan. We took that. Okay, so that's about the second lab for today. I think we'll take a pause here and let's have a quick Q&A, and then we'll stop here, and then we will continue in Jan with the architectural series. And let me take Bijumon Bhaskaran. There was some other Bhaskaran, isn't it? Oh, Srinivasan Bhaskaran. Okay. Yeah, I remember the last name when I saw the other Biju. Then I thought that, oh, okay, there are two people. So guys, this is the architectural series, which we are going to start from Jan. So the thing is that it will have its own everything of its own. It will have its own code, build, release pipeline, build pipeline. And you can see the artifacts also and deployment to the Azure Kubernetes service. You can see that artifact here. So that series, what is that we are going to build? We are going to build a small solution. It will have products microservice independent. It has got a separate GitHub repository. It's coding, unit testing, a little bit, if not 80% coverage, even 5% or 10% coverage, but some unit testing. And then we will have the scripts, shell scripts, PowerShell scripts, and it will have its own YAML templates for the deployment. It will have the gated build, CI build, and the release pipelines, GitHub Actions. It will have Terraform and deployment into the Azure Kubernetes service. So we have products microservice. Whatever I told will be applicable to all the microservices. Yeah, Biju, I'll do that. So products microservice, identity microservice. Products microservice is .NET 7 with MongoDB. Identity is .NET 6 with SQL Server 2022. All are Docker containers. No app services. Everything Azure Kubernetes containers. So .NET 7 with Mongo, .NET 6 with SQL Server, Ocelot API Gateway, that's a separate container. Angular 14 admin application, Angular 14 client application. So .NET 6, .NET 7, Angular 14, Kubernetes, Docker, Terraform, GitHub Actions, and integration. So that will be fun ride for sure. Hey Biju, I'll give you what you need. Hope that is interesting and you people will be interested to join. You can unmute and speak if this is making you interest. And we will keep the AZ-204 series live, but monthly one workshop like this, 2 hours workshop. to refresh because the series which we started was in September 2021. I think so. Yeah, it's 1 year ago. So the series is 1 year old and a lot of things has changed. So we'll keep the monthly Saturday series, but January month is rest. So we'll start directly with the architectural series, but from Feb onwards, there will be one workshop which we are planning to keep this AZ cert series hands-on labs. We'll do a lot of experiments on this. And the new thing which we are starting is the architectural series because I myself will learn from different websites and different video courses I myself take and learn from them, learn from that LinkedIn Learning or Pluralsight or Udemy or PackPub or Cloud Academy, whatnot. And YouTube channels and Microsoft Docs and Microsoft videos. I myself go learn from different places and then create my own. I mean, like take it from all places and create my own. Technically, that's the true thing. So that's the thing I learned over a period of 2 years. Whatever I'm going to start in 2023 is my 2 years learning, and I don't say research, that's a big word. It's my 2 years learning from different industry experts and authors. So I'm creating my own small solution. And it will be a little bit different from all those courses because, as I was mentioning, one microservice itself will have an independent Git repository. We are not going to bring identity or any other thing into this. It's purely products, means only products, single responsibility. It has got its own build, gated build, release pipeline, CI builds, approvals, Terraforms, GitHub Actions, scripts, everything independently deployable, as well as there'll be a main project which will hold all a main YAML file which can deploy the entire solution. And each of these 5 different Git repositories can deploy itself. Like there is a change in Oscillate or the products microservice. So the product microservice that itself can go and deploy separately. That's what the benefit, isn't it? I'll see if I can bring in the Spring Boot or Node.js because that's a 12 episodes minimum it will come, or it might go to 20 episodes. I don't know at this point of time, but a minimum 12 I can guarantee on that. So any feedback, positive or negative, please feel free to unmute yourself and talk. So Anupama. Sorry, Annapurna. I'm sorry for that. Srinivasan. Ashish. Sorry, Anish. Arika. Bijumon. Is it Devadanam or Ranjita? Anyone has got any queries, please feel free. We will be closing this bridge, and there is another session on 7th December that will be on event hubs. Event hubs. Oh, I repeat it, Srinivasan. I love that because that gives a lot of power. The Kudu console, Kudu tools. I'll redo that in 2022. The Visual Studio 2022. In the next lab, which I do it in Jan, I will do that. Okay, so if you guys, I'll do that. Oh, you guys can speak, unmute and speak, because the session is over, isn't it? We can go on a Q&A. Devadanam. Did you like it, Srinivasan? Oh, thanks. So hope to see you on 7th December also. That's an event. Cool. Thank you so much, Deva. Hope I can call you Deva. Harika. Hey, you guys can speak, unmute and speak, folks. Should be fine. Biju? Yeah, Bijumon, you can speak if you have any queries. I posted the link, just watch out. And thanks, Harika.
Yeah, good morning, sir. I'm joining from Abu Dhabi, so I am joined late, 1 hour after that. So I missed the 1 hour section. I think it's a good one. I'm continuously following you through the meetups.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much.
Actually, I'm working in Abu Dhabi.
Oh,
so I have a member in Bangalore Reactor and also for Middle East Reactor, Meetup Reactor. So
okay.
I will be following you every time.
Oh, thank you so much, Biju.
Thank you. It's a good section, sir.
Hey, you can call me Swamy, please. No, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Seeing my white beard, you're calling me.
Not a problem. Definitely, I will call.
Yeah, I started coding in 1997. Even if I open the floppy disk of 1999, you see my Java programs which I wrote it in 1999. I still remember there is a Sai Baba picture and race, green color race coming in and out. That's the program I wrote it in Java applet in 1999. I still should have somewhere there.
You're based in Bangalore, right?
Oh, no. I am a very complex guy. I will tell you my formula. We are from Palakkad, Kolangud,
From Kerala.
Tamil Ayers, but born and raised in Andhra.
Okay.
So, I'm a complex guy. That's what I'm telling. I cover all three states, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, and Andhra, Telangana combined. So I don't know what I am now. If I speak a sentence, I speak all these three languages. All three languages will come. So,
Basically, I'm based from Kerala and working in Lulu Group International Abu Dhabi in corporate office. They're looking after infrastructure areas for the group.
Oh, okay. The Terraform will definitely help you, Biju.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that will definitely help you out. Cool then. Yeah, Deva, Srinivasan, Annapurna, Anish, Ranjita, you guys are not speaking. If you have any queries, we will speak. If not, we will shut down this bridge and see you guys on 7th December. And guys, please keep a watch on the Bangalore React meetup group. December, we will kickstart. That will be after Pongal, after 15th or 16th January. We'll see a good date to start. All days are good days, but good date means the slot should be available. We'll grab the slot and Rashmita will publish. And if you're joining that series, you need to join all episodes. As I was mentioning, that is intermediate and above. That has got a lot of content. I'll teach you and you need to follow that also. The moment you attend a session, you need to do the practice and come back with the queries. If you listen, you'll not be able to get it. You have to practice. That's very, very key. Cool then. Rashmita, back to you, Rashmita, for the final words.
Thank you, Swamy, and thank you everyone for joining us today. I have already shared the Learn module links in the chat section. Please give it a try. These are handpicked by Swamy. So, if you complete this Learn module, it would be a better understanding of what's been covered today for the session. So I will highly recommend. And also, I mean, it will give you access to additional resources to take your learning further. So yeah, I mean, thank you all once again and enjoy the rest of your day.
So Rashmita, regarding, I was speaking about the plan, whatever we are going